A reading from the Gospel of Matthew. The angel Gabriel was sent from God to a town of Galilee called Nazareth, to a virgin betrothed to a man named Joseph, of the house of David, and the virgin's name was Mary. And coming to her, he said, "Hail, full of grace, the Lord is with you." But she was greatly troubled at what was said, and pondered what sort of greeting this might be. Then the angel said to her, "Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. Behold, you will conceive in your womb and bear a son, and you shall call him Jesus. He will be great and will be called Son of the Most High, and the Lord will give him the throne of David his father, and he will rule over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there will be no end." Mary said, "Behold, I am the handmaid of the Lord. May it be done to me according to your word." Then the angel departed from her. The Gospel of the Lord. When I was a young boy, probably younger than Mary in the Gospel, I used to like to sing a lot. My mother would often hear me singing and would say, "Someone's happy." Or sometimes she would say, "There will be tears soon." Now, that may sound strange, but you see, my mother, she knew me really well. She knew that sometimes my singing was a sign of joy, and other times I was trying to cope with sadness, or boredom of doing a chore, or just being tired. Who was the saint who said that to sing is to pray twice? I think that when we are in touch with the deeper dimension of our being, the place where words are too deep to be expressed, a song can say what is deep within our hearts. Mary knew that. And she knew from her praying of the Psalms that the psalmists too express words of prayer in song. Mary also knew that other women poured out their souls before God, particularly when they were deeply distressed. Hannah in the Old Testament, who had longed for a child and had finally been blessed by God with Samuel, sang a song after she had consecrated Samuel to God. And many of the sentiments in her song are echoed in Mary's song, the Magnificat. Just imagine the roller coaster of emotions that Mary has experienced after being asked to be God's mother when she had not yet married Joseph. This emotion is greeted with the words, "The Holy Spirit will come upon you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you." I think these words must have been difficult for a young woman. And then there is Joseph to consider. Now, as if that's not enough, the angel goes on to explain that her cousin Elizabeth, in her old age, is also with a child. What does a young woman do with all of this mystery? Well, Mary eventually sang her Magnificat. This may not have been her immediate response, but when she was in the company of the faith of her cousin Elizabeth, Mary sang, "My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord." There is no thought of taking credit herself here. No, Mary knows this is God's gift. Is there someone you know who is pregnant? 2 women I know are waiting for the birth of their children. And sometimes I see them touch their wombs and quietly sing to the babies within, and I am filled with awe. And then at the other end of life's journey too, a song can express what otherwise cannot be put into words. Not too long ago, I was sitting with an elderly woman when her daughter came into the hospital room to visit her. And after a short time, with very little said, mainly silence, the daughter began to sing a prayer with her mother. It was a moving moment, especially as the woman had told me shortly before that she was not able to pray. But at this moment, her faith lit up as she heard the familiar family prayer words in song. We've all experienced times when prayer is difficult, and yet the words of a favorite hymn will come to our lips as we too sing and proclaim the greatness of God. I'd like to finish with a hymn from John of the Cross called "If You Want," because it expresses for me the most beautiful words as we begin a new year, longing for Mary to give birth to Jesus again in our hearts and in our world. If you want, the Virgin will come walking down the road, pregnant with the holy, and sing, "I need shelter for the night. Please take me inside your heart. My time is so close." Then, under the roof of your soul, you will witness the sublime intimacy, the divine Christ taking birth forever, as the Virgin grasps your hand for help. Each of us a midwife of God. Each of us. If you want, the Virgin will come walking down the road, pregnant with life, and sing. Like Mary, let us sing with joy to the Lord. May this new year be a time of great joy, even amidst our sorrow. And may we continue to pray that it be a time of singing